Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for joining us for another video on VlogKing, and today we're in our temporary office slash studio. And yeah, basically today I just want to talk about Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, which is just under 3 weeks away on the 5th of August in Dallas, Texas. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on this, guys, and see what your opinion is on this. But there's a lot of professionals out there that are writing Jake Paul against Nate Diaz. They're writing it off as a total mismatch, and I completely disagree with that, and I just wanted to hear what you guys think of that, and just thought we could have a chat about it for an hour. But yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail. There's a lot of coverage already out there on this, and yeah, it's one of them. Jake Paul's, I think he's currently 7-2 boxing career. Nate Diaz is, I'm gonna say 22-13. I might be 1 or 2 out on that, I'm not too sure. I think I'm right. But yeah, a quick breakdown for that is I recently seen a video of Eddie Earn saying it's a complete mismatch. There's a couple of high-end celebrities that are saying the same, and yeah, I just completely disagree with it, guys. I think you're absolutely stupid to write Nate Diaz off. This almost reminds me of the situation McGregor won, where everyone kind of just wrote Nate Diaz off and said, you know, it's going to be one way, blah de blah de blah, and we all seen what happened in round 2. I feel Nate can easily take the win via decision. I believe it's 10 rounds now. He's got more than enough stamina to do that, and twice over. He could literally, he's got the stamina and the cardio to, he could fight Jake and happily fight Logan Paul 30 minutes later. 100%. Yeah, his cardio is unbelievable, and it's that what's he's gonna really pressurise Jake. I believe Jake will come out strong and fast, taking into consideration he's just come out of a fight with Tommy. Tommy is a heavy hitter. He put it on him. He kept the pace going throughout. So Jake is going to be confident from that. I believe he'll be more confident than wary. So with that confidence, he'll come out fast and strong. I do believe that Nate will get cut easy and early. Jake has got a cracking right hand, and Nate has been opened up thousands of times throughout his career. He's probably 30-40 plus fights throughout his career, including all his street brawls. He's certainly got the upper hand with the experience over Jake. Jake's definitely going to come in cocky and confident after his last defeat. Yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you think any differently. But yeah, they don't end it too soon with a cut on that one. But yeah, it's I can guarantee Jake Paul will come out cocky, confident, fast, strong. That'll last a good couple of rounds. Nate will take a little bit more than he needs to, but he'll certainly be putting that pressure on in the later rounds, 4 to 6, and then he'll come on real strong in them last rounds. Hopefully it doesn't get stopped by a cut, doctor stoppage, and if that's the case, Nate will definitely win on points. Obviously I do believe in a bit of a corrupt system within the industry as well, but you know, we'll all be there to watch and visually see. Sorry for any background noise. There is a company above me that's just taking some deliveries. I have semi-sorted the lighting out, so I've managed to get them to stay on in the corridor, but there is also another row overhead to which I can't find the controls for. But yeah, I've just used a screwdriver to override the motion sensor to keep them on, which is good. But as I say, yeah, we'll be in a new studio slash office very soon in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, this will do us for now, and it gives us a chance to chat. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, just under 3 weeks away. What's your prediction? And yeah, how's it gonna go? I'm really looking forward to it. I won't be staying up watching it. I'll be watching it the day after on a Sunday morning. Usually like to just stay in bed, have a little lie and scroll through the YouTube and yeah, watch the highlights and get a good feel for it. Some cracking fights coming up. Tom Aspinall's back from injury in the UFC. He's definitely going to be world champion within 3 to 5 years, 100%. Tom Aspinall is somebody that I did get the opportunity to train alongside of many years ago, probably around 8 to 10 years ago now when I first started my MMA career. He came along with his dad, Andy Aspinall, and they came to our gym to teach the BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class 2-3 times a week, to which I participated. Got my first ever couple of stripes off his dad, Andy Aspinall. Fantastic men, literally nicest set of men I've ever met in my life. To say how big, strong and powerful Tom is, he literally is one of the nicest men you can ever meet. I'm not his friend by any means or anything like that. It's not a claim to fame or anything like that. It's just I spent a little bit of time getting taught off him and his family and his father on the mats many years ago. I believe he was brown belt back then, and that was going on 10 years ago, so he's a well-established black belt by now. Under his dad, I believe they train in Liverpool mainly, St Helens Way. That's where I used to go. That's where I went for my grading to get my stripes, over in St Helens. So yeah, local lads to the UK, and he's back. I think it's this weekend, back from injury. UFC London. Don't hold me to that. I've not really been keeping updated as of lately on the MMA scene and also boxing. But yeah, I just thought I'd put my 2 pennies in with the Jake Paul Nate Diaz coming up. Everyone's writing Nate Diaz off. I wrote Nate Diaz off many years ago on the McGregor 1 fight. Yeah, I won't make that mistake again. He's definitely a legend in the sport, and his background, he's all jiu-jitsu, trained by the Gracies, best of the best. So his ground game's there. He's boxed throughout his career. Just literally, I have always put him down as a boxer over a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, because he will choose to stand and bang over rolling around on floor grappling and trying to get a submission in place. He would much rather be standing and banging, which is what we as fans enjoy to see the most. So we'll certainly see a lot of that. I'm looking forward to watching Nate Diaz land his body shots and just the consistency. So he's not got, I wouldn't class him as a hard hitter. I'd class Jake as a hard hitter. But the good thing is, Nate Diaz is going to literally take everything that Jake throws at him. There is not one doubt in my mind that believes that Jake will knock Nate out. I just don't believe that's going to happen at all. It's either doctor stoppage or Nate on points, to which if it's a stoppage, Nate will be fuming anyway. I've recently seen this morning, apparently Jake Paul has offered 10 million to Nate Diaz for an MMA fight. That is not where you want to be. Literally, Nate would not even need to take him to the floor, just by incorporating elbows, knees, kicks, leg kicks, high kicks, all that good stuff. That's more than enough in his arsenal to basically take Jake Paul to pieces and just rip him apart. To which he definitely would. I believe he'll do it in the ring. I honestly do. I think it'll go the distance and Nate will take it on points. And maybe Jake might get the first 3 rounds, but I can't see him getting much more after that, because the consistency that Nate, he will just be keeping that pace and pressure on him and pushing him and pushing him, and I don't think he'll be able to cope with that kind of pressure. He'll be exhausted, overwhelmed, and I can't see him getting stopped, to be honest. I can't. I think it'll be a grueler of a slogger of a dog match in the final rounds, to which Nate will be at absolute peak, I think he's from round 6 to 10. Nate will easily control, dominate, and just pile that pressure on, to which Jake will take a lot away from this fight, which I think is good for his future. I believe he's the same as Conor. He can take a couple of losses and still not affect his fighting career. He's a well-known guy all over the world. He's bringing a lot of eyes to the sport, which is good. It's one of them. It's kind of disrespectful towards the MMA guys. A lot of them are getting annoyed, but it is what it is, and it's drawing more attraction to the sports, and that's great. You've got crossover fans all over the world now, and they want to see Jake, they want to see Nate. Nate has got a huge following, and I believe that's always been underrated as well. He is massively known worldwide. The Nate Diaz brothers will go down as legends in the sport. Yeah, they're a fighting family. They're real true to the sport. It's the life. As he says, every day is a training session for him. There's no days off. It's constant. And McGregor used to laugh at him about doing triathlons and swimming and, you know, bike rides, running, all that stuff. That's the stuff what's built his career and built the foundations for his body, for his type. He's so long and strong, and yeah, he's a cracking fighter. I absolutely love Nate Diaz as a fighter, and yeah, it's disheartening to see him getting raw off the way that he is, because he's certainly going to shock the world on this one. Yeah, and obviously we're seeing more of these crossover fights now. Francis Ngannou's just managed to get 10 million plus out of Tyson Fury, which is great. It's great. It's you've got Jake is tweeting about that, saying, you know, he's got a bigger payday than all his other paydays put together. Yeah, that's fine. At the end of the day, that's because Tyson's going to sell the majority of them tickets. There's not that many that's going to come over on Ngannou's side, I believe, anyway. So yeah, that's where the money is. The money is in Fury, and he will promote it, and it's going to take place in a fantastic place. That's the capital of the world for me, and has been forever, to be honest. Yeah, Saudi Arabia is literally the capital of the world. If you read any documentaries or research the country, them princes have been in control and at the top of the world since 1970s and probably beyond. But yeah, they had tens of millions of pounds back in the 70s, which was obviously a massive amount of money compared to today's currencies. So yeah, they was they was always on the private jet planes. They always had the best of everything in the world. Look at what they've done with the country. It's a phenomenal place. Not like I've been. I've just seen it online and researched and studied it myself. But yeah, certainly the capital of the world, and where these major fights are going to be heading to. Yeah, it'd be nice to see Fury and Ngannou. I think Fury will just absolutely pick him to pieces. I don't think Ngannou will land much at all. He's not the best of boxers. He's just a big, strong man with a big, strong, heavy punch. Yeah, it's one of them. It's Tyson Fury will stay on the outside, absolutely jab his head off and land some cracking shots, and that'll be the same as what I believe Jake Paul. The fatigue will kick in. The consistency of the punch is just coming and coming and coming. It'll just be overwhelming for them. This is Ngannou and both Jake. I believe they'll both lose to being overwhelmed, exhausted, and just outworked. And that is where the experience comes in. And Nate has got that by the buckets. He's probably one of the most experienced MMA guys in the UFC. That was in the UFC. His contract is currently over. I believe he will try to go back after this. But yeah, fair play to, he did his last fight, which was Tony Ferguson. It was a great way to end his career. He'll certainly be in the Hall of Fame. And yeah, it's one of them. It's great to see him earning them big bucks. Conor McGregor is proven it can be done in the UFC. You've just got to be devoted to it and every aspect of it, promoting the company, being an asset to the company and making that company millions. Obviously you're going to get millions. It's just the way it is. If I believe, what I feel is Ngannou didn't quite have the fan base what he thought he did, and that's the reason for his poor paychecks. I mean, just short of £1 million, 600 grand, 800 grand for a fight. You can't really complain at that when you start at six grand, 16 grand, that kind of end of the spectrum. You get fight at night, you get 50 grand bonus, a couple of other bonuses, you know, fight of the night, knockout of the night, whatever else is on the table for that card. So yeah, there's plenty of opportunities, but then it's up to the fighters themselves to self-promote. And yeah, obviously Dana's going to look into all that, and Dana can't exactly turn around and say, yeah, everyone gets £1 million per fight. Like he said in a previous video, MGM costs £500,000 just to turn the lights on. So if you're paying a fighter £1 million, 500 for venue plus everything else is going to be another 500 at least. You're 2 million deep before you've even put the fight card on. So then you've got 15-20 fighters per card, all at £1 million a piece. All of a sudden you're minus 25 million before you've even set a card off. You know, how is that sufficeable in a business? So when Jake Paul goes on about stuff like that, it's all just, you know, he's just trying to get under Dana's skin. He's trying to get a bit of clout and a bit of attention. Yeah, so it's not doable, and I'm sure as he creates his promotions, MVP and stuff like that, most valuable promotions, as he gets into the industry and more, he's going to know that and probably fail. If he goes down that route, he's either going to fail or he's going to learn and realise and understand why Dana has to do what he has to do. It's, for example, me with my construction company, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna hire these 10 men, I'm gonna pay them £100 a day, let's go. And there's no work booked in, but I'm paying them all to stand about and, you know, wait for work, so to speak. It's just not sufficeable in business. So yeah, but I think all that will calm down, and you know, it is what it is. The more traction you create, the more money you're going to create, the more popular you're going to be. It's that kind of thing. You just got to build and build and build on it. And I think Ngannou just got a little bit greedy, a little bit fast. Whereas if he built himself up and proved himself, because I believe that it seemed like he was trying to pick his fights as well. There were certain people he didn't want to fight, not like I would. You know, that heavyweight division is very, very heavy, full of big lads. You wouldn't like to be stood across that octagon with John Jones, DC, Brock Lesnar. You know, these are all the type of guys he's up against. He's had some good fights. He destroyed Derek Lewis. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of heavyweights out there that would destroy Ngannou. And yeah, in boxing, Tyson Fury is certainly one of them, so we'll see how that one goes. So yeah, let me know what you guys think on the Jake Paul Nate Diaz. Who have you got? Let's see who you've got, and yeah, we'll have a good read through the comments and see what you guys think. But my prediction is Jake Paul will be overwhelmed in the end, so he'll come out fast, strong, cocky, confident. He'll have a good do. He could possibly open Nate up early, which I'm hoping there's no referee stoppage, but it is expected that he will get opened up. I think anybody who's ever watched Nate fight knows he's going to get opened up, and it doesn't mean anything for the outcome of that fight. It's regular. It's a regular occurrence, and it's something that he's most comfortable with. He's probably more comfortable fighting with blood in his eye than not. That's all experience. That is, you know, for someone like Jake Paul who's never had a good gash, certainly not in the ring anyway. He might have done in sparring and stuff, but you know, to get a good gash and get that blood pouring into the eye and smearing it with your gloves and trying to clear things up, it's not something I've experienced myself, but I can only imagine how hard and awkward it is. I've had a couple of bangs on the end of the nose to which your eyes water, and that is tough enough. That's tough enough to deal with while sparring, and you've got somebody on the end of a 8-10 ounce glove trying to bounce it off your skull, and you can't see straight. I can only imagine what it's like with a load of blood, and obviously then the worry and how bad is it? Is it going to be stopped? Is it going to stop? Am I going to collapse? All them whilst you've got somebody throwing more 1-2s at you. So yeah, it's certainly something Nate will be comfortable with. So yeah, we're going to see a cocky, confident Jake for the first 3-4 rounds. Then he'll start to slow down. Nate Diaz will pick his pace up as we go on. He'll probably allow Jake to gas out in them first 4 and then put it on really hard in them next 4. And then rounds 6 to 10 is just going to be absolute full pressure from Nate, constantly in his face, in his body. Then gut shots, shovel shots, uppercuts, everything is going to hit him everywhere. He will overwhelm him. I don't think he'll stop him. I think he'll be exhausted, and Jake will have to dig very, very deep in the final rounds just to stay in there on his feet to be able to take what Nate has got and not get that stoppage. So yeah, that's my prediction. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please let me know what you guys think, and let me know in the comments. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff, and we'll see you on the next one.